Hello, it is Reviews Day Tuesday, and today it is time once more for the Quiet as Mouse book club, and I am reviewing When the Curtain Falls by Carrie Hope Fletcher. This is the fourth book by Carrie Hope Fletcher and her third novel, the others being All I Know Now, On the Other Side, and All That She Can See. I have reviewed all of them, so if you would like to see those reviews, then I will link to them below. When the Curtain Falls follows two couples, Walter and Fawn in 1952, and Olive and Oscar in the present day. Their lives are linked by the play When the Curtain Falls, which is performed at the fictional Southern Cross Theatre in London. Fawn played the lead in the original production, at which Walter was the stage doorman, and then almost 70 years later Walter is still working at stage door, and the play is revived with Oscar and Olive in the cast, Olive playing the role that Fawn played. And the dramatic events of the previous production start to seep in to the new production. As with all of Carrie Hope Fletcher's novels, I really loved the premise of the book. She has great ideas, it's very imaginative, it's an interesting and exciting concept. And of all of Carrie Hope Fletcher's books, this one is interesting because it is the only one set in the theatre, a world which she knows really well. So I enjoyed that whole aspect, the world in which the story was set. The look behind the scenes, it felt like it had some authenticity to it. I would say that although I found the overall plot and structure to be imaginative, it does include a lot of tropes and stereotypical characters, more so I feel than in her other books. I also had a slight problem with the book in that I found the 1952 story to be far more interesting than the present day story. The stakes are a lot higher in the 1952 story, there's a lot more peril and drama. There was also a really good villain, in that there was a villain that was terrible and I hated him. But we spend a lot more time in the present with Olive and Oscar, which, you know, is fine. I didn't dislike their story, but I felt like their story was more predictable and also a bit repetitive. The same problems kept cropping up in their relationship. So it just felt a little uneven to me. You know, there were two plot things going on, but I was far more interested in one of them. But I'm sure that other people would be far more interested in the other. They might see more of themselves in Olive and Oscar. They might relish the romance between them. There are some great moments in the book. There's a section near the end where it feels like the two plots are merging together, and I thought that was written really well. And there are some nice romantic scenes and some sad and moving scenes. It feels like the darkest book that Carrie Hope Fletcher has written, even though it's not the first to be centred around death. So it's an interesting one. Despite my problems with it, I did enjoy the reading experience overall. I wasn't frustrated when reading this book. I found it to be a pretty easy read. I did like the overall world, even though I never latched on to any of the characters really. So, you know, it's worth a look if you like the sound of the premise. It's not my favourite of Carrie Hope Fletcher's books, but I didn't dislike it. And on that vague note, I'm going to give When the Curtain Falls by Carrie Hope Fletcher 3.6 out of 5. I would really love to know what you think about this book if you have read it. The next book that I'm going to be reviewing on my channel is Spectacles by Sue Perkins, and that review will hopefully be up on the 11th of September. Let's move across to the end screen. If you would like to see some more book reviews from me on my latest video, then you can do so below me here. And you can also subscribe to my channel or visit my website if you should wish to beside me here. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I will see you later on in the week.